Welcome to Positively Las Vegas, a look at the good things happening around the valley. I'm Kalina Estrinos. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to share the latest stories that showcase the reasons why we love Las Vegas. That means the people, the businesses, and all the activities that make the valley a great place to live. We'll also share fun things to do in Las Vegas each week.
After a year like 2020, it's time for a new beginning, a fresh start. It's time for a new Las Vegas.
Ooh, you heard it right there. DJ Chesto coming to Resorts World. He actually released that video on his social media platforms there to announce it. He'll be a headliner at Zouk Nightclub and AU Day Club. And he won't be alone. You remember just last week, Zed was also announced as a headliner, and Resorts World is set to open up this summer. It's pretty exciting. Hey, all new at 6 a.m. as we get ready for Strip properties to hit 100% capacity June 1st. Those in the hospitality industry are getting back to work, and that includes DJs.
Gotta kick the rust off, Gotta kick the rust off,
After more than a year away, it's time for Las Vegas DJ E-Rock to dust off the turntables and get back to the DJ booth.
Yo, I'm through the roof. It's been a long time.
Before his residency was put on pause, he was DJing for big crowds and packed pools every weekend in Las Vegas for the past 12 years.
Man, we didn't know what was gonna happen. We heard all these rumors and stuff like that, but we had no idea that the pandemic would definitely affect us in this way.
Now, since he couldn't perform in person, he, along with a lot of other DJs, turned to social media, specifically the live streaming platform Twitch, where he played for people all over the world.
I feel like that community really, came to my aid at that time.
But now he's excited to restart his residency at Daylight Beach Club inside Mandalay Bay.
It's an amazing feeling, not only to be able to be in front of people and play a live show again, but just to be a part of a team again, just to be a part of, a greater cause.
And DJ E-Rock says there's no party like a Vegas party.
People come here with the expectation of having the best time of their lives. The great thing about that is I can be a part of that.
The latest exhibit at Area 15 is taking you on a trip to outer space.
Oh, looks a little trippy. It's all part of a new series inside Museum Fiasco, and 13 Action News reporter Alicia Patillo is there to explore the cosmos.
Area 15 is ready for spring with a new exhibit, and we're taking a sneak peek. Come on in.
Museum Fiasco inside Area 15 has a new show. Through light, sound, and space, this is Stellar.
Stellar is an adventure into space. Literally, you will be transported into a nebula. You'll be taking off from Earth, going into the multiverse, and really experiencing what it's like to be on another planet.
Stellar is the latest installation inside Museum Fiasco, and the new exhibit is intended to take passengers on a one-of-a-kind journey.
People are just shocked to see this kind of artwork. Most people go into a museum and they see artwork on the walls, the kind of artwork you could take with you and put over your sofa. In this experience, you're not going to get that. You're going to get the kind of artwork that you're fully immersed in. You're going to be in the artwork itself, and that's just been exciting to see young and old come over here and see this amazing exhibition. People are just blown out of the sea when they see this. So we're really excited to be part of the Area 15 ecosystem, where we're like a mall of experiences, the kind of artwork that you just have to be inside of it.
For tickets and more information on this new exhibit, visit our website at ktnv.com. Alicia Patillo, 13 Action News.
High school graduations will be taking place in person this year.
Well, 13 Action News anchor Ross DiMattei right now is live outside the Orleans with the reaction from a very happy principal, Ross. So many parents waiting on this information.
Yeah, a lot of happy parents, students, principals, teachers all around the valley today. Well, Todd and Tricia, the Orleans is one of 3 different venues that will be hosting those CCSD graduations, or I should say most of those graduations this year, all of them in person. And of course, this is such welcome news to so many seniors that were worried there would be no in-person ceremonies. We now know that will not be the case, which is great news. So let's go over what we do know, because there are still a lot of unanswered questions tonight. So really, CCSD announcing today that those ceremonies will be taking place between May 26th and June 7th of this year. And many schools are going to have split ceremonies, meaning there will be 2 different ceremonies on the same day, usually at 8 in the morning and noon, or 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, I caught up with John Anzalone earlier today. He is the principal over at Sierra Vista High School. Taking a listen to why he says this in-person graduation announcement is so important.
First and foremost, knowing that they'll have that amazing day that's all theirs, their celebration, and kind of that rite of passage, right? But I think just as importantly is it's a motivator. We needed that date because kids sometimes need that carrot, right? And we have a lot of kids struggling right now, and not having the graduation ceremony set in stone, there wasn't as much of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Principal Anzalone making some great points there. Now, let's go over what we don't know. CCSD still hasn't announced whether family members will be allowed to attend graduation, and if they are, how many of those family members will be able to go. Also, they haven't said how they're going to split up seniors if a school has 2 ceremonies, and also what social distancing guidelines will look like. We are expecting more announcements on all of those subjects as soon as next week. Now, if you would like to see the full CCSD graduation ceremony list, there's too many to announce on air, but we'll post the full list we actually already have at ktnv.com. We encourage you to go check it out. We're live outside of the Orleans Arena tonight. Ross DiMattei, 13 Action News.
Get the best of Positively Las Vegas on your time. Download the KTNV 13 Action News app on your Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire TV streaming device. Visit ktnv.com/apps for more information. Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv.
Veterans Voice, we now look at an organization honoring our veterans. Well, Infinity Hospice right now is looking for volunteers. The goal is to make patients comfortable during their last phase of life. And employee Nikki Ellis says that this is a chance to connect people who have military backgrounds with people in hospice to make a difference in someone's life.
One of the things that you see during the end of life, during the grieving moments, especially in veterans, is if they've had PTSD or if they've had a moral or a soul injury, you've got your volunteer coming in who understands how that is and understands the culture and the language and how to help them get through that grief process. So having a volunteer is someone other than their family members that they can really talk to and relate to.
Well, if you want more information on the program, we're going to post a link. It'll be on our website at ktnv.com/veteransvoice. And Veterans Voice is sponsored by Southern Nevada Ford Dealers.
We have some video here of a few celebrities who are also considered social media influencers. So Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande is going to pop up, Kylie Jenner as well. But social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they're giving everyday people a chance at superstardom, and the possibilities are endless. We're talking commercials, TV shows, movies, and more. But to get there, you have to know your brand. I sat down with a Las Vegas influencer who's made a name for herself because of her similarity to a megastar. Take a look.
My love don't cost a thing.
She's a dancer, a chart-topping artist, and one of Hollywood's leading ladies. But if you take a closer look, you'll see that's not Jennifer Lopez.
And we're on live Instagram.
That's Connie Penna, a Las Vegas resident and J-Lo tribute artist.
All these custom outfits for J-Lo. I was told for maybe a good 15, 20 years, I've always looked like Jennifer Lopez. When I met J-Lo and the way she looked at me and she's like, well, we look alike. That was the biggest verification.
Connie's uncanny resemblance to the star and ability to dance, perform, and sing just like her is her brand. But social media...
I was on TikTok for 5 months and 1.5 million.
Launched her career as an influencer.
Because of social media, I've had so many brands contact me. I've had from shoes, clothing, accessories, hair, makeup.
And the power of social media can be felt almost everywhere. Classes on how to become an influencer and college courses focused on digital marketing in a social media driven world. Companies and people trying to boost their following and get noticed.
This is how intense it is for us influencers, because it's our business. It's not just your career. It's your actual business.
This is how Connie supports her family, and because of her success, she's now working on her own music and beauty line.
I am super surprised the way it's taken off.
Her advice for others looking to get discovered is be consistent.
I recommend people to go live, to post as much as you can. Don't let your social media just sit around. Post anything from the second you wake up. Post, good morning, everybody, and be very positive too.
I said this earlier, Dave. I forgot to put this side by side with her and Jennifer Lopez. I'm so sad, but
It's
you can
amazing.
see she looks just like her. She told me this was an investment for her, so she did spend a few $1,000s to create and perfect her brand, but she says that might not be the case for everyone. So if you're looking to be a social media influencer, Dave, you won't have to worry about throwing thousands of dollars. You can just post, like she said.
Nobody looks like me, or I don't look like anybody, though.
And you have a really cool last name. You don't have to look like anyone. You can just create a brand off of Crevassier.
Crevassier, play off that cognac thing.
I'm into it.
I don't know.
Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv.
And while there are more than a dozen categories during the Oscars, there are 5 that are always closely watched.
All week long, local film critic Josh Bell will discuss those nominees in a special edition of the Bell Breakdown. This morning, we start with who he believes will take the win for Best Actor.
Let's talk about the Oscar for Best Actor. The nominees are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Stephen Yeun for Minari. My favorite in this category is Anthony Hopkins. Not that he necessarily needs another Oscar, but he plays a really difficult part in The Father as a character who is frustrating and abrasive at times, but also tragic and sympathetic. Anthony Hopkins balances a range of emotions as the main character, who's suffering from dementia and is often lost in the world around him. Hopkins captures the clear intelligence, humor, and experience of this character, while also capturing the anger, confusion, and desperation of someone suffering from memory problems. It's the latest great performance from an actor with a whole career full of great performances. I also really liked Stephen Yeun in Minari as the immigrant father determined to make a better life for his family in America, whether they like it or not. Yeun also balances warmth and compassion with a less sympathetic single-mindedness in his character. But the award will definitely go to the late Chadwick Boseman, as much to honor his life as for his role as blues trumpeter Levy Green in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Boseman is deserving of recognition, but his broad performance here falls under the category of most acting more than best acting.
Well, the countdown is on to the 93rd Annual Academy Awards, and one of the categories everyone's talking about is Best Actress.
Now, this morning we start with Josh Bell on who he believes will take the win for Best Actress.
Let's talk about the Oscar for Best Actress. The nominees are Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. Honestly, I'm not all that enthused about any of the picks in this category, but my favorite among the nominees here is Frances McDormand, who's always fantastic. Nomadland isn't her best performance, and the movie belongs to the real members of the Nomad community that director Chloe Zhao includes, more than it does to Frances McDormand. But Frances McDormand gives her lead character the right amount of emotional depth to hold the movie together, and she steps back at the right moments to allow those real people to tell their stories uninterrupted. You could certainly do worse than to give Frances McDormand another Oscar. And she might end up getting it. This is a bit more competitive than the other acting races, although the current frontrunner is Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. It's a flashy role with plenty of memorable moments, although the movie's inconsistent approach to its subject matter makes it tough to get a handle on the lead character. Carey Mulligan brings enthusiasm and charm to the role, but the story of a woman seeking unconventional revenge against the patriarchy can't quite give her a consistent character to work with.
Well, as we wait to see who will take home the Oscar for Best Picture, students at UNLV are hoping to be future filmmakers.
But certainly the pandemic is changing the way that students can create their films. And 13 Action News reporter Kelsey McFarland now, it shows you how students at UNLV are using virtual reality, really, to try to make some movie magic.
This has been a terrific period of innovation. for us as a department.
Professor Francisco Menendez was recently named Teacher of the Year by a global organization for elite international film schools.
He's always been at the forefront of technological change.
Menendez took the pandemic as an opportunity to teach immersive technology, creating films all through a computer.
We have figured out a way to do virtual production, and we have figured out a way to create a virtual classroom. So all those things are very exciting.
Instead of your typical Zoom call, students step into a virtual reality classroom with VR headsets.
We got out of the Brady Bunch grid and we got ourselves into 3D VR space.
So the app, you take a picture of yourself, so it makes you an avatar. And so it's your face on this like body, but it's like kind of creepy because it's just like a half body. But we get to like move around the space, and you get to just kind of be in front of people without your mask on because it's a picture of you.
Film major Julia Bresnan says producing and directing films via Zoom challenges their creativity in new ways.
Happy birthday, dear Lady Bird. Happy birthday to you.
A lot of our production designers have made such creative ways they make props and they drop them off at both actors' houses so actors can act like they're passing something and picking something up. So it kind of makes it more real, if that makes sense. They also make virtual backgrounds for a lot of the actors.
Menendez says virtual sets have been around for years, but shows like The Mandalorian bring it back to the mainstream.
All of this is just LED screens displaying backgrounds pre-made in a video game engine.
We're getting this technology at UNLV and we're training these students for the 21st century.
Menendez says eventually in-person shoots will become more common.
I ordered Raisin Bran because I didn't want there being mistaken for a date.
In the meantime, his students have learned how to adapt and grow through an ever-changing industry.
My main goal was that we wouldn't have a lost generation of filmmakers.
Kelsey McFarland, 13 Action News.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they're well on their way. Well, UNLV students, they have a film festival coming up. It is called Spring Flicks. So students, they're going to debut their virtual or socially distanced films on April 30th as well as on May 1st.
And be sure to watch the Oscars right here on Channel 13. It is an all-day event Sunday with the big show starting at 5 p.m. And then join us after the Academy Awards for a special edition of 13 Action News.
Get the best of Positively Las Vegas on your time. Download the KTV 13 Action News app on your Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire TV streaming device. Visit ktnv.com/apps for more information. Welcome back to Positively Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories you're watching today, visit our website, ktv.com/positivelylv.
Academy Awards just 4 days away, and although the pandemic put a hold on many things, including movie releases, several films still made their way into your homes.
While streaming services grew in popularity, some movie theaters were left in the dust. 13 Action News traffic anchor Zora Asbury is here to show you how one local theater changed their business plan to stay afloat. Zora?
Well, Kalina, Dave, ahead of the Oscars, stories like this are so important. Movie theaters were essentially empty during the pandemic throughout 2020. A lot of people were streaming more, so it made people ask that question, have movie theaters lost their magic?
Theaters were left dark, quiet, and empty last year as the COVID-19 pandemic swept through. Companies like Regal and Cineworld closed over 500 of their theaters in October of 2020. AMC and Cinemark temporarily shut their doors too. Highly anticipated movies like Wonder Woman, Mulan, and Justice League all released straight to streaming companies like Disney+, Netflix, and HBO Max. Even with more convenient options, moviegoers say they're ready to get back to theaters.
Movie theaters are a place for people to escape, a chance to just get away and relax and enjoy yourself, enjoy your family.
I love going to movies, and gosh, I'm not even sure how long it's been. It seems like forever.
And me personally, I'm a movie fan, especially when it comes to Marvel, DC.
Top Gun, the next Top Gun movie, I'm totally into that.
As a way to rebound from record low box office numbers, companies like HBO Max doing hybrid releases of movies like Godzilla vs. Kong, out now in theaters and online. But to diehard movie fans, it's just not the same.
You can have big TVs, you can have great sound systems, but you just don't have that same magic.
Especially in this time, COVID, not be able to go to a movie theater and sit back, have like a good bowl of like popcorn or get some candy or at least like a freeze, you know, like it kind of hurt my heart.
Katie Jocelyn, general manager of Galaxy Theaters and Boulevard Mall, says they've been able to stay afloat by opening their theaters to private parties and events.
So we were able to find ways to just keep working with the community. Some of our locations in other states, when they weren't able to fully open, were at least able to do some private rentals and start getting guests back into the theaters.
With the city of Las Vegas set to be reopened by June 1st, many theaters are saying they're welcoming people into their doors. And in fact, movies aren't losing their magic, they're just getting started.
Now, I spoke to some folks around town, and one of the things that they miss the most about movie theaters is actually the popcorn. I talked to the owner of Galaxy Theaters, and she said during the pandemic, to stay afloat, they'd actually sell big bags of popcorn to customers who just really miss that nice buttery taste. So hopefully when June 1st comes, they will be open at full capacity, and we'll check back in with Galaxy Theaters and other theaters around town. Reporting live here in Las Vegas, Zora Asbury, 13 Action News.
Comedian Mark Cohen spent most of 2020 perfecting his crocheting skills, but now he's back on the Comedy Cellar stage at the Rio, and there's plenty to laugh about.
This is the biggest crowd I've ever heard. I've been working for my dog for the last 6 months. It's been a lot of fun. My dog, it's been a little rough.
The renowned comedy club has an underground New York vibe, featuring headliner comedians like Brian McKim, Kathleen Dunbar, and Rick D'Elia performing their very best 20-minute sets. The audience is safely spaced, but I guarantee you the jokes have not been sterilized. And spring for something new this Saturday at the Dress for Success Warehouse Reduction Sale. Ladies, when you come out and shop, you help smart local women get outfitted and secure jobs. And the Good Deed Project is presenting Art in the Alley on Saturday from 11 to 4 on 3rd Street. There will be tons of art, music, bites, and brews, all benefiting local children in need. For the full list, head to our website.
I'm killing here. Well, welcome to Las Vegas.
Thanks for watching Positively Las Vegas on your favorite streaming device. If you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and scroll down until you see Positively Las Vegas, and you'll find every story we aired in this episode. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News right after the break, and check us out anytime here on KTNV Streaming. Las Vegas News on your time.